I'm Stephanie. Today I want to talk about population impact of collecting sea anemones and anemonefish for the marine aquarium check in the Philippines. Before I start the presentation, we need to know what is sea anemones and anemonefish. Sea anemones is this. It looks like a flower. The appearance is very similar to plants, but in fact, it is an animal. And anemonefish is this. It also called clownfish. The reason we call anemonefish is because their life is very close to sea anemone. So clownfish also called anemonefish. Tropical marine ornamentals comprise an increasingly important fishery worldwide. Although the potential for overexploitation for marine ornamental is great, a few studies show the population impacts of ornamental overexploitation and ornamental fisheries are many huge. Analysis of catch records obtained from collectors over the 4-month period in Cebu, Philippines show that anemones and anemonefish comprise close to 60% of the total catch. And later I will introduce them. Global trade in marine ornamentals is a rapidly expanding industry. And anemonefish and sea anemone are symbiotic relationship. Let's see a video. We can see the clownfish will not try to eat the sea anemone. We often see clownfish are growing into the tentacles of anemone. It can help them maintain their protective mucus layer. And the fish with 5 spots on its body is called anemonefish. I will mention it later. It also symbiotic with sea anemones. Anemone is a long life cycle, slow growth rate, and low reproductive animal. So overexploitation of anemones may leave newborn anemonefish without proper habitat due to the implicit connection between the population of anemone and anemonefish. We also explore their abundance, density, and population structure of anemonefish of each individual anemone. And the study area is in Philippines. Orlando and Cebu is here. And the survey were made at 2 protected reefs, Piritangan Sanctuary and Enlarge Sanctuary. And non-protected reefs, Piritangan Reef and Pengan. The difference between them is protected reefs cannot do fishing activities, but non-protected reefs can do fishing activities. The method we use are this information. Catch records. Fishes logbooks can be a very useful tool to determine catch composition and volumes. Fish and anemone surveys. We can see in the protected sites, Piritangan Sanctuary and Enlarge Sanctuary, their numbers of anemone and fish are more than non-protected sites, Piritangan and Pengan. Biomass estimates use length with relationship obtained from fish beds. The catch rate data is from January to April 2002 in the Cebu-Olango region of the Philippines, describing a catch of over 40 collectors comprising 40,000 organisms. From the catch record data, we can see the B. trimaculatus and A. clarki were the most abundant species, and B. trimaculatus is the fish that we have just been seeing in the video. And fishermen receive values ranging from US 3 cents to 12 cents per fish. Long tentacle anemone is this. It has long tentacle. And flat carpet anemone is this. It is flat. Long tentacle anemone make up approximately 1.5 and 4.1% of total abundance and total value of the catch. Flat carpet anemone approximately 0.2 and 1.2% of the total abundance and total value of the catch. In the chart, we can know the density of anemone. A-clachy and D trimaculators were significantly higher in protected sites than in exploited sites. And in density of anemones, H. crispa alone and other anemone species together were also higher in protected sites than in exploited sites. So the environment affected the number of creatures. And H. crispa is this. It has rounded tip and the end is often colored with purple or blue spot. Here is purple spot. In the chart, we can know the size frequency distribution of A-clachy and all anemone species combined. In the above chart, we can know the relationship between proportional frequency and standard length. Blue is protected and orange is exploited. A-clachy can grow longer in protected sites. They can even larger than 7.5 centimeters. And in the below chart, we can know the cumulative frequency and area. Size frequency distribution of all anemones combined in protected sites are more than exploited sites. The number and biomass of anemonefish per square centimeter of H. crispa. There were similar numbers of anemonefish per unit area of anemone in protected sites and exploited sites. However, the biomass of anemonefish in per unit area anemone is lower in exploited sites. In the chart, we can know the proportion of D trimaculators less than 2 cm not associated with anemones in protected and exploited sites. Contrary to the findings of Butler, there were no significant differences between the densities of either anemones or anemonefish on protected and unprotected reefs on the Great Barrier Reef. But in this paper, we determined that aquarium fishing activities significantly impacted the populations of both anemones and anemonefish in the study region. It is because of fish catch data. It provides evidence. And the presence of adult anemonefish may decrease an anemone's ability to predation. And the presence of specific conditions may enhance the ability of settlers to find host anemones efficiently. Result of the present study revealed that the cessation of anemone removals will not only greatly reduce the direct impact to anemone populations, but also reduce the indirect effect on anemonefish populations. Given the relatively high value of anemones, preventing overexploitation would be difficult unless it could be clearly shown that the harvest of anemonefish could be sustainable indefinitely, thus providing a consistent source of income to local fishers. In a conclusion, aquarium fishing activities significantly impacted the population of both anemones and anemonefish in the study region. The catch record data provides evidence that ornamental fishing was responsible for the reduced densities of anemones and anemonefish in exploited sites. Thanks for your attention.
9 minutes, 52 seconds. ready? Lina. Daniel. Amy. Andy. Oh, sorry. No. Cortina. Lina. Wait a minute.
Can you go to the resource slide of the all species? This one. And the bottom line that the x-axis means area, and the area is the whole area or just a specific one.
The area means the forest areas, protected reefs and non-protected reefs, Giltangan Sanctuary and Aleutian Sanctuary, Giltangan Reef and Penguin.
Okay. Daniel.
In your conclusion slide. And what is ornamental fish?
It means it means you can put at home and you can see. You just see the fish. It is merchandise.
Oh, okay. Okay. Amy.
Can you explain the bigger board again?
But
Bigger board.
Due to the absence of the practice of catching the larger size classes of fish triangulations in exploited sites, the full fishing activities restricted the following analysis to individuals less than 2 centimeters.
I'm not sure if that's the explanation. Cortina.
In your result figure 3. Where the number dots there, but in biomass the blue one is more than the orange.
Because in exploited area, the harvest of anemone is more than protected area, so the biomass is less than protected area. The harvest is more.
Volunteer question. Annie. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Starting from you. You are Alex.
In conclusion slide, what is aquarium fish activity? Yeah. Aquarium fish activity.
What is aquarium fishing activity? It means you catch the fish and put into the aquarium. So the activity is called fishing activities.
So the fish will prey another fish species.
Please say
So the fish will prey another species, right? So it involves activity.
Yes.
Huh? What? Okay.
I'm wondering that how to make extra income for locally ornamental fishermen.
You mean this?
Yes.
Price paid to fishermen by middlemen.
So, excuse me. Could you repeat your answer again?
Do you mean how to know the price?
Yes.
The price is paid to fishermen by middlemen.
Middleman? Huh? Okay, I'm not sure if I get it. But, what's her name? Okay, my turn. Okay, so regarding Stephanie's talk, I think she talked fluently, but some things need to be clarified. So first of all, I think abstract is not is actually a typo. Abstract is not an appropriate term to explain this. I think here what you really need to explain is actually called echoing one of the questions. You should explain what is marine ornamentals. You can easily explain the concept by showing some pictures. You just Google marine ornamentals, then you find a lot of pictures. And many of them might have anemones. Okay, it's difficult to pronounce. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then the video is a bit long, so especially there was several tenths of second of silence. So either you come up with more lines or you cut your video. Okay, so avoid unnecessary silence. And then at the end of your is this the result? Method. Okay, at the end of your introduction, you should say clearly what is the purpose of this study. So add one slide to show the purpose is to provide evidence, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then it is good of her talk that she often added photos of the animals, so you have better feeling what kind of animal was being discussed. And it is also good for her self-made figures. These are figures made by herself that she added color, so it's easier for you to comprehend the difference between protected and exploited areas. And she also added the mugshot of the animals, so you have better feeling. But the figures should be larger. Okay? It was very difficult for me to read when I was standing at the back row. So I think you can add one, you can always use one large figure, as we always said. Large figures are always good. Then, one thing, what was missing is you remember to say the blue bar means what, orange bar means what, but you forgot to mention what is the axis. And this is especially important because here there was a question regarding what is the meaning of the area here, right? And your answer is related to protected area and exploited area. However, if you look at the units, it was very small. The unit was in square centimeter, so it was a very small size that we are talking about. So I think you need to figure out what is the area here, and next time you you have to remember to discuss the meaning of the axis before you talk about the data. Then there was a pronunciation issue. You said creature, I will usually just say creature. And the discussion was really wordy. And I was really busy reading the screen, so I could not follow your script. So please try to show just keywords. And then condense the sentence to maybe 2 lines. You don't need to show the full sentence. The last thing is about the conclusion, because these 2 statements actually talk about the same thing. They are the same concepts, which means ornamental activities or aquarium fishing activities responsible for the reduction of anemone and anemonefish. It's actually the same thing. So you probably need to talk more about specifically what kind of data was shown in the study, like a biomass or size and so on. Okay, so let's thank Stephanie.